So remember, in the previous section we talked about what not a function was. In other words, you can't have an ordered pair. I guess I'll write it right here. You can't have two ordered pairs, okay, with the same first coordinates, because that's not a function. So in other words, if I put a 1 down in here, I can't have 2 and 3 come out, right? Only one thing at a time comes out. Okay. Well, that's the idea of the function machine, and you can expand on that if you would like. But we're gonna move on now with we're gonna touch on some graphing some functions. So I'm going to start with something like this. F of x is equal to 2x, and we want to graph this on the Cartesian plane. So I'm going to roughly sketch this thing, and first we'll do a table here. Okay, this is my independent variable, and then my dependent variable is my f of x, which we define to be 2x. So I'm just going to pick some points here and plug them in. For example, plugging -1 in. So -1, 2 times -1 is -2. And then we're going to plug 0 in to our function. I should say this is f of -1 is equal to -2. And of course, plugging 0 in, you get 0 out, and we could say f of 0 is equal to 0 out, right? 2 times 0 is 0, and let's say 1. We plug 1 in, so this would be f of 1, and we get 2 out, as you can see. So we come over here and we graph this. So when I plug 0 in, I got 0 out. Let's use a different color here. Okay, I plugged in 1 and I got 2 out, so we'll say this is 1 here, and we get 2 out, so we'll say this is 2. And then I skipped 1, -1, plugging -1 in, you get -2 out. We'll say -2 is down here, so -1, -2. Now of course our range, or I'm sorry, our domain is R. That boldface R here. That means all real numbers. And so that means that we can plug in, we're plugging in every single point on the number line. So what we can actually do here is kind of connect all those points. So pretend that we've done all those, and of course that goes to infinity in that direction and so forth. Now, the domain of this function is all real numbers, and the range, remember these were all the y values out. So if this is going to infinity, then that means that for every x value there's going to be exactly one y value, but there's going to be all the y values. So the range is also R, but actually we would say it's from -infinity to +infinity, and we could say that the domain is from -infinity to +infinity. So this is a set of numbers here. It's an interval, and -infinity, right, is going off in this direction, and +infinity is going off in this direction. So we're going to talk about the domain and range a lot in probably the next 10 minutes or so, as we give some examples and do some more graphing. But let's actually graph this using a graphing utility. Okay, so this is Google's graphing utility. You can type this in the Chrome browser's address bar, 2x, and this should come up. So look, we got a nice little slider here. So let's see, we plugged in 1 or something like that, and we got 2 out, and then plugged in 0, 0, and then we plugged in -1, and we got -2 out. As you can see, here's my coordinates here. The question is, what happens when I add a 2 or a 1 on the end of this, 2x plus 1 or 2x plus 2? How's that going to affect this graph?